Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The Indian education system is not failing, it's succeeding. It is producing exactly what it's designed to produce: anxious, obedient, exam clearing, risk avoiding citizens. And the scary part, we are clapping for it. Let's zoom out for a bit. What does the system reward? It rewards memory, speed, compliance, endurance under pressure. And what does it not reward? It doesn't reward independent thinking, creative rebellion, strategic risk taking, emotional regulation. And now think for yourself. If you had to design a system that had to manage 1.4 billion people efficiently, would you design thinkers or would you design processes? Look at a classroom. Rows, silence, permission to speak, raise your hand, follow instructions. That's not a learning environment. That's behavioral conditioning. And we call it discipline. Interesting. Let's talk about ranks. A 16-year-old studies for 2 years, sleepless, sacrifices health, cuts off all his hobbies. Then, one 3 hour exam decides brilliant, average, below cutoff. One day, 3 hours. And that becomes the identity. We think this is intelligence measurement. No, that is stress performance measurement. There's a difference. Now let's go second order. What happens when you attach identity to marks? Students stop loving learning. They start fearing mistakes. Curiosity dies quietly. Risk taking reduces. Because when failure equals humiliation, innovation becomes dangerous. Third order, a generation that avoids risk, a generation that seeks safety over exploration, a generation that prefers government exam preparation over building something uncertain. Why? Because the system trained them to win structured outcomes. Life is not certain. Life doesn't give section A 2 marks, section B 5 marks. Life gives chaos. And here's the most brilliant part of it. Parents enforce it, not out of evil, but out of fear. They say, Beta, safe job, lelo, because their survival depended on stability. And fear travels from one generation to another disguised as advice. Beautiful strategy. You don't need to force. You use love to maintain the systems. India produces millions of graduates yearly, but companies say many are not job ready. Why? Because solving textbook problems is not equal solving real life ambiguous problems. Life doesn't give you four options. Life gives you confusion and says, now think. It's 2026 and AI has changed every single thing. AI can memorize faster than you, calculate better than you, doesn't get tired during exams. So if your entire value is based on repetition and memorization, what happens when machines outperform you? Exactly. The value shifts to emotional stability, original thinking, strategy, communication. And what do we train for? Mark scoring. See the mismatch? Mental health. The result day feels like judgment day because the system did something subtle. It attached the self-worth to the performance of the student. So failure doesn't feel like I lost. It feels like I am nothing. And that psychological wiring is powerful and dangerous. We have students who can solve thermodynamic equations but stutter while speaking to strangers. We have students who can explain the French Revolution but cannot explain their own emotions. We have degrees framed in houses but identity crisis hidden in bedrooms. Congratulations, very educated. Let me be very clear. I am not anti-study. I respect knowledge deeply. I love physics. Biology is divine. But education without self-awareness is incomplete, and information without wisdom is simply noise. When a nation increases optimization for exam rank, it under-optimizes for originality. And when originality decreases, innovation slows. And when innovation slows, brain drain increases. And when brain drain increases, talent leaves. And we ask, why aren't we globally leading? Because we train for clearance, not creation. Will the system change quickly? No. Will the system change quickly? No. It handles millions, and large systems change slowly. So waiting for the reform to happen is childish, but outgrowing it is intelligent. Use the system, take the marks, but build something outside it. Learn communication, learn finance, learn how to persuade, learn how to think from first principles, because the future will no more ask, what was your percentage? It will ask, can you adapt when rules disappear? And that exam does not have any syllabus. If tomorrow all the degrees were erased, would you still be valuable? If ranks were erased, would your confidence remain? If exams stopped, would you still be curious? If the answer is no, then you were trained, not educated. And the difference between those two will decide the next 30 years of your life.